Y'all, I'm gonna just come out and say it. Wholesaling real estate is better than buying rental properties and also fixing and flipping. And let me explain why. And before we get into it, y'all, for reference, at one point I had up to 27 rental properties and I've done maybe 15 to 20 fix and flips in my life. Most of y'all know I started with wholesaling real estate back in 2012. So I've been doing this for 13 years. I've been doing all three strategies for 13 years at this point. Commercial buildings, well, small apartment buildings. I got into Airbnb at one point. I have done damn near everything you could think of as it pertains to real estate, even creative financing, right? I gotta be dead serious about why I think wholesaling real estate is better than both. And before I get into super details of why, I'm talking about a wholesale business, not wholesaling one deal and getting lucky and just doing a random cold call or something like that. I'm talking about actually having systems in place so that you're able to close deals every single month and run it like a business. So I'm coming from that standpoint, y'all. And let me explain. Let's get into it. All right, y'all. So we all know, right? When it comes to wholesaling real estate, you really can start with, I'm talking about $0 in your bank account, 0 credit cards, like access to no money at all. All you need is a cell phone, some hustle, and you really can get right to it, y'all. When it comes to fixing and flipping properties, y'all, it's impossible for the most part. You need money. Rather that's the bank's money, credit cards, you're going to have to start with some money, AKA debt. For most people, right? Most people, when they start off, they want to do a fix and flip. You start off using some type of credit cards. And honestly, it's very risky to do that because you have never done this before and you're about to max out a few credit cards to buy a fix and flip. It's not the best way to go about real estate, y'all, especially when you're starting out. Let's talk about rental properties. Again, you need money. To start out, you need access to capital. And we all know when it comes to rental properties and investment properties, that's a long-term gain, y'all. You're not going to get rich with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rental properties. You're not going to get rich. When I say getting rich, I'm talking about having money come in where you can quit your job and really live a good life. You just can't do it. It's a long-term game, y'all. And for that reason, wholesaling is better. That's just the first point. Let's get into the next point. All right, let's talk about how quickly you actually can get paid. So with wholesaling, typically, y'all, we're talking about 30 days or less. Of course, sometimes they do go to 45, 60 days, depending on the title work and different things. But for the most part, 30 days. When you fixing and flipping a property, right? We're talking about what, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 months before you see a return on your investment. Again, most people start off maxing out credit cards and whatnot. And not just that, man, it's a lot of moving parts that has to work out in your favor to even see that check after that 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 months. Contractors, banks, appraisers, realtors, hoping people don't break into your property, hoping the property actually appraises. It's just so many different variables. And if that don't go right, which most times for brand new people, it don't, you're going to lose your money. Rental properties, y'all. Again, this is a long-term game. If you got $30K out of your pocket to buy a rental property, it's going to take you years to ever receive that $30K back. And we're not even talking about tenants in your property, messing the property up, you having to turn over the property. So when I say turnover, every time you rent out a property, it's usually a 12-month lease. They leave after 12 months. You got to redo the whole property to get it prepped for a new tenant. And yes, I know everybody want to get into Section 8. And in my opinion, y'all, just from experience, again, I had 27 properties at one point. Let me explain something about Section 8. And not to get off topic. When you renting out the Section 8 tenants, a lot of times these people don't have a job. They are in your house 24/7. What do that mean? That means a lot more wear and tear on your property that you just fixed up, y'all. It sounds good and looks good on paper. In reality, rental properties is a headache, y'all. You need cash to buy rental properties, in my opinion. Again, wholesaling real estate, we looking for quick wins. We're not looking for 50, 60, 70, 80K wins, even though you can get those kind of checks. Actually, like my man Quincy, right? So Quincy, it did take him a while to land this deal, but he got an $80,000 deal right here, y'all. When it comes to fixing and flipping, it's going to take you 8, 9 months to get an $80,000 check. The difference is when you wholesaling, the risk involved is very low. You don't own it. You're not dealing with tenants. We're not chasing contractors. We're not going to Home Depot. We're not picking out floors and cabinets and all these things, y'all. So I prefer the quicker cash. And we're going to explain what I do with the cash that I get that can offset buying rental properties now. We're not dealing with termites, toilets, and tenants, which is one of the main reasons people get out of real estate. I'm not sure if anybody watching this own real estate or rental properties before. If you own enough and you've been doing this for some time now, it really is a headache, y'all. And I want to steer y'all from buying real estate because it is, of course, it stands the test of time. You can get rich. It just takes a while. It's just, dealing with those headaches. If you look at any seasoned investor right now and see what they're doing as it pertains to real estate, you will see a lot of them are pivoting to a different strategy, not buying rental properties the way we know it. With the interest rates at 7%, now for investors 8-9%, it's hard to cash flow on properties. On top of that, properties are getting way more expensive, y'all. So it's not penciling out to where it actually makes sense to buy rental real estate, y'all. I'm just being honest. When we wholesaling real estate, again, I'm not dealing with no tenants. I'm not getting no late night calls. And again, when you're running it like a business, man, you're getting paid every single month like it's a rental property and way more than what a one rental property will actually pay you. And you don't have to deal with tenants and toilets and termites, y'all. Low risk, high reward, y'all. Let's think about this. With wholesaling real estate, I just told y'all you can get in literally with $0. But to be fair, I do suggest you have $200-300 a month for some marketing expenses, which is still, very low risk, right? You're not going to die. Nothing's going to happen to you if you lose $200-300, right? Fixing and flipping, again, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 down just to actually get in the deal and do the fix and flip. And if that go left and you don't get that $50K back, now financially, you might be in a situation where you got to file for bankruptcy. You got to go back to your mama house. So low risk, high reward when it comes to wholesaling, in my opinion. Again, we ain't dealing with the headaches. Dealing with tenants, dealing with contractors. That's the two variables and the differences between failing and succeeding in real estate. Most people not good at managing those two things. Most people can't even manage their own kids in their own house. So I don't know why most people think they're going to manage tenants, grown people with a family, and contractors who are there to actually try to get over on you for the most part, y'all. Number 5, y'all, you can actually learn the fundamentals and learn the market and learn real estate without having to gamble when you are wholesaling, y'all. Think about this. This is why I always prefer wholesaling. I can go into any market and I could potentially make 5, 10, 15, 20,000 a month without having to risk so much money being involved, yo. And again, let me make something clear real quick. You can become extremely rich doing all 3 strategies. My preference is you start off wholesaling and you never stop. And then as you get better at it and deals start coming across your desk and you start negotiating with sellers, you start to learn to keep some for yourself or maybe even fix and flip it if that's what the math say to do. But along that journey of wholesaling, you're building a network of buyers and investors, title companies, contractors. So you like learning and getting paid on the job at the same time, y'all. And I don't know why people skip over this and then end up trying to do a fix and flip and lose all their money. It just doesn't make sense in my opinion. The last reason why I prefer wholesaling over the other 2 strategies is because I'm able to scale, which means I'm able to grow this thing as massive as I want and go into different markets without a lot of risk. Again, if you're trying to do fix and flips and you're trying to grow that as a business and go to other states or cities, that's going to be extremely hard to do. Trying to manage a rehab project across the country while you are in another country, even the best of the best have a difficult time doing something like that. And when it comes to rental properties, it is a little bit easier to buy rental properties in other states and get a property management team in place to manage the properties. Property manager companies, a lot of times, y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you, they don't do the best job. Their job is to make sure they put tenants in the property by all means necessary so that they can get paid every month because you pay them a management fee. And every time the property needs a repair, they get paid as well. And it's still pretty hard to scale a rental portfolio all across the country, unless you like just got massive amounts of money, which most of us don't. Wholesaling, I can set up shop in any state, in any city with 2 hours of market research and due diligence, and I'm up and running, y'all. So you can scale a lot faster with a lot less risk. Again, running it like a business is different than hustling and bustling and you doing all the work, you calling all the sellers, you trying to sell all the properties, and you trying to get all the pictures of the properties. I'm not talking about it from that lens. I'm talking about it running it like a business, having people in place, and just, running it, having like a real wholesaling operation, y'all. I hope this video helped y'all make a decision on even just getting into real estate in general. I love all three strategies, by the way. I just think for most people, man, you might want to crawl before you walk. Many of y'all know I've been doing this since 2012. Closed over 700 real estate transactions, over 4,500 students, over $10 million worth of deals since 2020 with my students. Yeah, so if you ever interested in getting in this game and you want a real life coach who really can hold your hand and get you to that closing table, make sure you click the link below, book a call with my team, and let's get to it. Until next time, I'll see y'all around. Let's get it.